My name's Pete, and I was diagnosed with ADHD about 9 years ago. So I'm 31 now, and I was diagnosed when I was 22. And this video are the three lessons that I wish I could go back and tell myself when I was diagnosed. Um, I hope it's helpful for you. Leave a comment if you found it helpful. If you didn't find it helpful, all feedback is appreciated and really useful for me to make better videos about ADHD. But the first thing is to have a lifelong mindset. So you can't read one or two books and solve it. So that's what I wanted to do when I got diagnosed. I wanted to solve this thing called ADHD. So I didn't have to think about it again. And that is not what ADHD is, and it's not, unfortunately, how it works. So every life stage is different. There's an infinite number of life events that can happen. Some can be amazing, and some can be really shit. And in this, I've put exploring an imperfection of friends. So having a long-term mindset is about embracing the idea of, exploring ADHD over the course of your life and how it interacts with the world around you, and not trying to be a perfectionist and not trying to be perfect. It's all right, basically, to for it to be a long-term difficulty and struggle. Like, it's not something that I'm ever going to solve and is ever going to go away. So that long-term mindset and knowing that, trying to explore my ADHD and accept imperfections is just really vital. And I wish someone had told me that when I was diagnosed, rather than it being a problem to solve. Number two, focus much more on how you are in the world. So, like your being. So it's a bit of I don't know if you've read Carl Rogers on. I think I've got it here on becoming a person. Really interesting book. But that idea of being and how you enter into the world. So I've put not just a list of criteria. So when you get diagnosed, the focus is on inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. So that's what everything's about. But I wish someone had said, once you're diagnosed, after diagnosis, focus on your being. So that is things like to do with your sense of self. So that could be confusion. Does ADHD make you feel confused? Loneliness? How's it impacting those social relationships? And also things like, are you enjoying every day? So are you enjoying that adventure? So what you're wanting to do with ADHD is move past the criteria and focus on how you are. And I've put here, so get back to those human qualities and see how your ADHD impacts them. So that is number two. So just focus on you as a person and as a being, and not just a set of criteria. Number three is embrace sensitivity. I thought I need to try and have a thicker skin and toughen up. As someone with ADHD, I am more sensitive to certain things. I have sensitivity around sound, particularly for me. There's a lot to do with like what they call rejection sensitive dysphoria, of feeling criticism and rejection very profoundly. And actually, a lot of the advice you read, and I read it the other day online, is people talk about trying to have a thicker skin and toughen up. I don't think that's true. And the reason that is I think sensitivity helps resilience. And I'll give an example of that. So I was an emergency worker. And unfortunately, if you go to emergencies, sometimes people die. And that's the reality of it. If you go to enough emergencies, not all of them are going to have a happy ending. And I think being sensitive actually helped me be resilient with that. So one of the things I would do is, if I went to an emergency and someone had died, at the end of the day, I'd light a candle for that person, and I'd have like a little bit of time just to kind of respect that someone had died. So being sensitive actually helped me cope with that at the time. And I think that was really helpful to be kind of long-term resilient. So if I could say to my past self, I'd say stop trying to toughen up or have a thick skin or anything like that. Just embrace sensitivity, and it can actually help resilience. Those are the three lessons I would send to my past self. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope it's helpful for you with ADHD. Thank you for watching.